But Harry Kane missed the penalty.
Yeah.
And you have to try and evaluate why that would happen. He's a big game player. People miss penalties. But, you know, my first reaction was pressure. Pressure got to him on Saturday. People around me were like, and they're a little bit less circumspect about what footballers should and shouldn't do. These guys get £300,000 a week. Their job is to put the ball in the back of the net. Come with the hour, come with the man. And I do think that Harry Kane should have buried that ball in the back of the net and taken the goalkeeper with him, because that's what the job was in hand. I don't know. You know, we do have this propensity to go from feast to famine. So on one hand, we talk about our players and our team.
Bellingham, you know, one of the best around. But he's 19.
He's 19. He's on a journey. He has the potential to be one of the best around. And that word that we started this conversation with and this section with about the word potential, which often is a cop-out for not actually achieving anything. Because if all you've ever got is potential, somewhere along the line, like the French guy said, they've got a mentality. Why have the French? They've produced some good players, but why did they change after the Bosman ruling that pretty much meant they lost all their domestic players to overseas leagues? They built a resolve and they won something. And there's something to be said. I don't know whether it's we like to celebrate mediocrity, or we like to be in a situation where we're praising people rather than calling things for what they are. I cannot make a case for giving unbridled praise to this England side. I don't think there should be a rabid, hysterical reaction to getting knocked out. And I think from the callers that we're not hearing that you're hearing educated people put across their views in a slightly strident fashion. They might concur with my view, they might disagree with it. As it happens so far, we've had people that are concurring to some extent with my view.
Yeah.
But we've also got people within the confines of this building. I cannot make a case. I don't come away from this tournament, and I've heard some of our commentators, I've heard Laura Woods and I've heard Adrian Durham making this case to be proud to be English. Why? We lost. We didn't win. Is that what English stands for now? Being perennial losers, celebrating mediocrity. I can't make a case for suggesting that Gareth Southgate, taking a group of players that are arguably nothing to do with him, coaches that are coaching these players. Someone said earlier on in the show, one of the callers talked about the mentality of the Klopps, the Guardiolas and the Contes of the world. These are the guys that are producing these players, not our national side. And what our national side are doing is diminishing them. It's like putting a great golfer with an average golfer. They play down a bit, don't they? Suddenly you get levelled. And in that instance, I think there was a lot to be said about Southgate. Southgate is a great media-facing, vanilla, never makes anybody uncomfortable, sensible voice that's managed to get sensible thinking. I want an ugly, unpleasant winner. I'm sorry, I know that makes sound a little bit crass.
If, Wes, who's a Manchester United fan, wants the same. Wes, you heard Simon there. What's your take on it? Good morning.
I actually agree with some of Simon's points. What he's done for the England team made them like a club team. They're all happy to go there. He's great for that. But during the game is when his defects show. It was pretty clear to see that what we needed against the French was pace. Crying out in the first half for Rashford, crying out in the second half for Rashford. When we went 1-1, it's the time to bring him on. We got the French rattled, and he waited, another 10, 15 minutes to bring Rashford on?
Right. So, and on the question of mental toughness, you probably heard the journalist for L'Equipe, Erik Biederman, saying that this mental toughness the French had that England maybe don't have. Is that too harsh, or do you go with it?
Well, if you talk about mental toughness, that second penalty, like Simon just said, drill the ball straight down the middle. You're not sure which way to go, left or right, straight down the middle. The 2-2, and we're back in the game. So that mental toughness, yeah, he did bottle it.
Yeah. Wes, thanks for that. So many calls coming in, and I'm still trying to find. I don't think he bottled it, to be quite honest, Wes. But anyway, we're still trying to find someone who's absolutely in favour of Southgate.
I know it's a.
He didn't bottle it,
Simon.
Simon.
I think he did, because I think he overthought it. He missed the penalty, and he took a great penalty in the first time round, but he's going into the second penalty. He's now aware again that he's facing Hugo Lloris.
But it wasn't. But many great England players have missed penalties, like Stuart Pearce, Chris Waddle. But it's not about bottle.
Fantastic, but the opportunities were there, and in this instance, he'd already taken one penalty. So when you've got Harry Kane in that situation, and the opportunities with him, I do think there's an element of he was mentally beaten by the task in front of him. Now, if he's mentally beaten by the task in front of him. Then, because we all know, we talk about pressure, the goal will shrink to the size of a pea.
But you've got to hit the target.
This is what the big boys do. And in that moment, cometh the hour, cometh the man, as I've said repeatedly, and Harry Kane didn't have the mental capability of overcoming the moment of pressure. It was immense pressure, but that's what he's there for.